The OIA playoffs roll on here at the Aloha Stadium as the top-seeded Campbell Sabres go head-to-head against the number 5 seed, the Kahuku Red Raiders. Cars still coming into the Aloha Stadium as we are about ready to get action underway. Blaine Coway alongside Mike Bradshaw here this evening.
Yes, Blaine, and this should be a relatively low-scoring game. However, but if Kahuku, with their high-powered run offense, gets going early, look for a high-scoring game. However, with the Campbell Sabres being their #1 ranked run defense in the league, that should prove to be something pretty awesome. And we see on the screen right here the powerful running back for Kahuku, Talamoni. And as you see him against Waipahu last week, just shredding their defense, and virtually the man is unstoppable. He's a one-man wrecking crew, for Kahuku. And Kahuku, with their high-powered offense the way they are, that should prove to be extremely interesting tonight, Blaine.
Talamoni, one of those running backs that possesses a good combination of power and speed as the team captains head out onto the field of play. The referee for this evening, Jim Beavers, talking to the Campbell Sabres quarterback, Rodney Tavui. And Tavui, quite an outstanding player as well for the Campbell Sabres.
Yes, he is. Thus far this year, he has been one of the most outstanding finds for the Campbell Sabres. And we see on the field right here, last week against McKinley, he was, he just totally shredded their offense. I take back that. Their defense, totally shredded their defense, not only with his, touch passes, but his, pinpoint handoffs. And as we see him right here, the referee talking to the coaches, the captains from both sides, Blaine.
Jim Beavers showing the coin to the Red Raiders' Robert Thompson. The Red Raiders now coming out onto the field as the coin toss being made at midfield. We now await the call from Jim Beavers talking to the Kahuku side.
Kahuku won the toss. Receive.
So Kahuku will open up possession with the ball here in this football game. Campbell to defend the Ewa side of the Aloha Stadium.
And Blaine, this should prove to be the start of the game right there. And you see Talamoni. It looks like that young man is just raring to go tonight. All these young men on both sides of the field are going to be pumped because there's what they call the Final Four of the OIA playoffs thus far. And as we see the teams, walking out on the field for their traditional pre-game handshake as well as the ILH, they do this after the game, Blaine. And you see head coach, Darren Hernandez for Campbell coming onto the field to greet the head coach, for Kahuku.
Both teams now moving across the 50-yard line with the pre-game handshake. Head coach for the Kahuku Red Raiders, Siwaki Levi, in his second year, he has an 11-9 career record.
And I talked to him prior to the game, Blaine, and I was asking him about if he was going to have any surprises, for the Campbell Sabres. And thus far, he says no, he's not going to have any surprises for him because it seems that Kahuku's luck is that any surprises that they try and spring on their opponents, it comes back to haunt them later. And I was also asking him about, the high-powered and the speed of the Campbell defense. And he says that he's not worried about the defense for Campbell, their speed. He's just going to have their game. He's just going to play Kahuku-style football.
And with that Kahuku-style football, they like to run the option on offense, an offense that can run 6 different running backs at you at any given time during a football game. Coach Siwak Levi not afraid to go to the depth on his bench. And for the Campbell Sabres, as you mentioned, Mike, their defense is the cornerstone of their team being so successful.
And with their defense anchored by the preseason perennial all-star Robbie Takara, that's one person that, if he gets hot tonight, Blaine, Kahuku's going to have a very hard time running the football, because that man has a lot of speed, and he's 6'1", 245-pound senior, and there are a lot of colleges right now that are looking at this young man and just frothing at the bit and can't wait to get that young man into their program. And that man right there, Darren Hernandez, is an integral part of getting this young man, you know, to what he is. Because he said, last week when I talked to him, he said that this young man, Robbie Takara, eats, breathes, and lives Sabre football.
Jack Ioane getting his team pumped up. Watch for the squib kick here. Campbell did that opening up last week's game. Is back to receive for Kahuku will be Diamond Ka'aihue, number 22.
And I think Campbell would be wise to kick it deep with high-powered offense that Kahuku possesses with their running attack. I think they'd be foolish, Blaine, you know, to try that this week, because if Kahuku watched the game films from last week, they're going to see that they set up in this style of formation and have their hands team up front.
The national anthem has been played, the alma maters have been sung, and we are ready for semifinal action here at the Aloha Stadium. Ioane and the special teams for Campbell spreading out as the kick is underway. Playing the ball at the 20-yard line, and losing the ball was the Red Raiders' Jason Malufao. And falling on the ball for the Campbell Sabres, Afono Filiva'a, and Campbell on fire here to start off the game.
And it's just like I said, Blaine, the momentum, all of these players are so charged up that, you know, it's like an adrenaline rush for these young guys. And as we saw Filiva'a, you know, come down on that last play and make the, you know, recovery on that, and that may come back to haunt, you know, Kahuku Red Raiders.
4 receivers to the top of the screen in this formation for the Campbell
Dead ball
Sabres.
foul, delay a game against the offense, 5 yards, repeat, first down.
And a huge roar from the Kahuku sidelines as the delay of game penalty called against the Campbell offense. An offense that probably was not ready to step out onto the field after that quick turnover.
This is very true, Blaine. It did not seem were ready, because they were ready for their high-powered defense to get into action.
Tavui in at quarterback as Asidera moves in motion. Tavui with some time has his man. This is complete out of bounds at about the 19-yard line is Mark Asidera.
Mark Asidera was an integral part last week, Blaine, of their offense. However, he got hurt last week and he was questionable up until game time. And it's good to see Tavoy pass the ball out to this young man who was a 5'8", 160-pound senior.
Tavui on 2nd and 5. This pass is incomplete along the near sideline, intended for Keola Noda. Noda, who had an outstanding game last week for the Campbell Sabres, making 8 receptions for 125 yards.
As we see Tavoy rolling out and firing out to the right, and Noda just bobbling the ball as he's going out of bounds.
Noda not very big at 5'8", 160, but utilizes his speed very well. 3rd and 5 from the Kahuku 19-yard line. Tavui, short pass across the middle, broken up nicely by the Red Raiders. Napali Kuho Kahalepuna, and the Red Raiders defense coming up big here against Campbell. Will the Sabres go for it on 4th down?
I think this one here, as we'll see the replay on this one, Tavoy, you know, firing out over the middle, you know, to his tight end, and that was nicely broken up.
Timeout, Campbell.
Campbell head coach Darren Hernandez will call a timeout here with 11:35 up on the game clock. Kahuku sideline anxiously awaiting what will happen here on 4th down.
And it would be tricky for them not to go for it, because it'd be just like a punt. Even if they kicked a field goal or made an attempt to kick a field goal, And if they made it, that'd be 3 points. If they missed it, Blaine, it'd come back to the 20-yard line. And I think that's what they may be discussing there.
Campbell needs 5 yards to get a first down. They have the ball at the 19-yard line, needing to cross the 14 of Kahuku. The Red Raiders cheerleaders trying to urge their defense on as Campbell appears to be going for it. Campbell with no running backs behind Tavui. 2 receivers to either side of the offensive line. Tavui, quick pass over the middle, just shy of first down yardage. And they will say Jack Ioane was down about a yard short of the first down sticks.
And that was a key play for the Kahuku defense, as we'll see the replay right here. Tavui, firing out over the middle to big number 98, Jack Ioane. And like you said, Blaine, he came up, just a yard short of the first down, and that is just like a punt.
The Red Raiders offense now stepping out onto the field. No huddle for Kahuku here on 1st and 10. Talamoni with the ball, and he'll get about 5 or 6 yards before being brought down by the Campbell Sabres defense.
And it's like the coach was saying earlier prior to the game, they like to pick up at least 4 or so yards prior. And we do have a flag on the field. It looks like it's going against. It's going to nullify that run by Talamoni. And we'll wait the call here. But the Kahuku head coach, Sioki Lavai.
Low block by the offense, half the distance to the goal line. Repeat, first down.
Yeah, we'll be repeating first down. Is blocking below the waist, half the distance to the goal line. It'll be 1st and 15.
Thompson quits back to Talamoni, gets past one defender, loses the football, 2 fumbles for the Red Raiders. They appear to have this one back.
And just like
big heads-up play there by the Kahuku Red Raiders, Vea Tupo.
Vea Tupo came up big on that one because there were 2 Campbell Sabres that were honing in on that ball. And it's just like, as we'll see here on the replay, the toss to Talamoni, and we can't really see who it was that knocked the ball out, but right here, it was knocked out, and there goes
timeout.
Tupo out to recover the ball. And we have a TV timeout, ladies and gentlemen.
So the Kahuku Red Raiders now burning their first timeout. That stops the clock with 10 minutes, 42 seconds left to play as Darren Hernandez paces the sideline for the Campbell Sabres.
As you'll see him talking with the one of the referees right there, and we see some of the spirited Kahuku fans right there. And on the other hand, we see the other end of the stadium there, the north end zone side.
Some fans of Loa Marasco there, number 16 for the Kahuku Red Raiders. A nice crowd here this evening on what appears to be a gorgeous evening. Thursday night football action from the Aloha Stadium. It does not get any better than this. Kahuku and Campbell going head-to-head. The winner goes on into the OIA Championship game to take on the winner of tomorrow night's Waianae Lelehua matchup.
And that one, Blaine, is going to be a war with the 2 high-powered offenses along with the stubborn defense. That is going to be just a high-powered shoot-'em-up game.
2nd down and 18 for the Kahuku Red Raiders. Back on their own 8-yard line. Play action. Thompson to pass for the first time, looking for his tight end, and he has him across the 35-yard line. They will mark him down there. Making the reception for Kahuku, Joseph Fotu.
And on the defense on that one was Kerwin DeMello. And Blaine, I don't believe that Campbell was ready for this. As we see Robert Thompson tossing the ball out to Joseph Fotu. Unbelievable.
That play gets Kahuku out of their own territory.
Dead ball foul, illegal procedure against the offense. 5 yards. Repeat first down.
One big play for the Red Raiders and a 5-yard penalty to follow. Not a good way to get momentum going in this football game as we are scoreless between Campbell and Kahuku. 10 minutes, 14 seconds up on the clock.
And I don't think that's going to last for very long. As we've seen thus far throughout the game, what short time it has been, Kahuku gets set back, but yet they come back with one strong play afterwards.
1st and 15 from the Kahuku 30. Kahuku moving the ball upfield. Nice block upfield as the Red Raiders' Halcia Faleofa carries the ball upfield.
And making the stop on that one was Efren Serrano, a 5'11", 155-pound junior. As we see here, the handoff going to Faleofa.
9.5 minutes and counting. Faleofa with the ball once again. Faleofa, who led the Kahuku Red Raiders in rushing during the regular OIA season in the White Conference, carried the ball 60 times for 312 yards.
As we'll see him carry another time, he's heading out, to his right, and he's just met by a host of the Campbell Sabres. Big number 98, Jack Ioni.
3rd and 5, and here you see the fullback, Manu Maliuna, carrying the ball, and he's still on his feet across midfield, down at the 44-yard line.
Andres Maliuna making an excellent run out to the left there. As we'll see on the replay, he takes the handoff. Sprints out to the left, and almost taken down, but the strength in that young man, pushing the individual off and finally being taken down by Ethan Serrano.
And as we mentioned during the intro, Kahuku not afraid to run many different running backs at any opposition's defense. We've already seen 3 different players touch the ball for the Kahuku Red Raiders. Talamoni with the ball, and he gets taken down immediately by Jack Ioane from the linebacking position.
And like we were saying earlier, the speed of Campbell will show on this one. Jack Ioni, it comes in, just shoots the gap and makes the play before Talamoni could really get started, Blaine.
8 minutes and counting left to play here in the first quarter. Kahuku on the Campbell 47, and movement before the play got underway at the left side of the offensive line.
And on that one there, it looked like the left end.
Right in.
Number
Dead ball
62,
foul. Illegal procedure.
Jesse Thompson.
Against the offense. 5 yards. Repeat. 2nd down.
It looked like he moved on that one just prior to, anticipating the count.
That will make it 2nd down and 17 for the Red Raiders. 3 penalties for 15 yards now against the Kahuku Red Raiders. Play action once again for Kahuku. Thompson under pressure, and he will be sacked. Gabriel Parayal, who had 2 sacks in last week's game for Campbell, getting the first sack of the evening here tonight.
And like we were saying earlier, it all boils down to that thing called speed. As we'll see here, Thompson dropping back in the pocket, doesn't see anybody downfield. Credit that to the Campbell backfield, and just nowhere to run. And Parayal coming up, making a big stop on this one.
Thompson to pass on 3rd and long, and he gets sacked once again. Big Mark Muasau coming in through the offensive line. Muasau, who also had 2 sacks last week, keeping up with his teammate Gabriel Parayal in this week's game.
And we'll see here again, the speed. Muasau just coming in, nobody touching him.
Punt away from the Red Raiders. And players from both teams will watch the ball roll dead at about the Campbell 23-yard line. 6 minutes, 19 seconds left to play here in quarter number 1. It'll be first down for Campbell when we get back under live action here at the Aloha Stadium.
Keola Nora on that one. He showed a little bit wanting to go for that ball, but second thoughts with the sea of red right in front of him, he thought twice.
4 receivers to the bottom of the screen now for the Sabres here on first down. Tavui under pressure, he will run for it, and he will struggle forward for a gain of about 4 or 5 yards. Tavui, one of the better athletes on this Campbell Sabres team, he can bench press over 300 pounds, and he showed a little bit of that strength there on that last carry.
And on that one there, we'll see him roll out, go straight up the middle. Can't find any, receivers open, and just takes it right up the middle. It's 6'1", 230 pounds. That's a lot of man to bring down.
5 receiver formation for Campbell once again. Tavui under pressure, and he gets sacked. Paulie Lua coming around from the outside on the blitz, and nobody picked him up as Tavui is now down on the turf.
We see here on the replay, he just comes in untouched. Tavui is naked back there in the backfield, and Lua just sand rolls him.
5:24 up on the game clock as medical attendants now out to administer their attention to Rodney Tavui. In Campbell's game last week against the McKinley Tigers, McKinley blitzed very often against this Campbell offense, but Campbell able to use the short passing game across the middle and out into the flat, setting up screen passes to get around McKinley's blitz. Scoreless game here at the Aloha Stadium. 5:24 up on the game clock. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back to the Aloha Stadium. Blaine Cowley and Mike Bradshaw joining you for a scoreless game here in the first quarter. 5:24 up on the game clock as Tavui was escorted off the field. Mark Osidera moves from the slot to the quarterback position. Adam Morris now the single back as Campbell puts a running back into the game for the first time. Osidera fires downfield just high of his intended receiver, and late penalty markers down on the play. The pass intended for Keola Noda. Covering on the play was Paulie Lua along with Tavo Tuatai.
And we looks like it's going to be, pass interference on the defense on that one, Blaine. And that's going to be a
defensive pass
and
interference, 15 yards, automatic first down.
That's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Campbell Sabres, and that is the 4th penalty, and it's 30 yards thus far, if I'm not mistaken, Blaine.
Sean Alpici now into the game for Campbell. 5 receivers for the new quarterback, Osidera. Osidera to run for it. He is very dangerous on his feet, trying to turn the corner, and he will gain 2 yards on this last play. In an unfortunate case of deja vu for the Campbell Sabres. They lost their starting quarterback last year, Kalliopa during the semifinal game to a knee injury. And Osidera had to come in to back him up, and once again, Osidera being called upon to back up their starting quarterback.
And as we see on the replay here, Osidera just, sprinting out, to his left and picking up about 2-3 yards, making it second down and 6 yards to go.
Kahuku showing blitz, six-man rush. Osidera able to get away, fires and has his tight end coming across the middle. Nice reception being made there by the Sabres' Bronson Ledward, and Ledward paid for it as soon as he caught the ball.
Yes, he did, Blaine, and you see Manny Crawford. You see Osidera making the throw, and here he comes. Boom, there he goes. Manny Crawford just putting a hit on him. It'll be third down and 1 yard. Good scramble by Osidera, and an excellent job of the man getting open.
Once again, no running back behind the quarterback. Osidera looking for some room, and Kahuku stuffs him this time. Maybe a loss of 2 yards as Kahuku just rushed the offensive line expecting that running play.
Yeah, Kahuku was expecting that one. Since there was no running backs in the backfield, they were expecting some kind of trickery or something to where Osidera could use his speed and try and sprint out, but it just didn't happen. They smelled it out. Kahuku did an excellent job on defense in that series.
Jack Ioana in to punt it away for the Campbell Sabres. Jacob Malufal back to receive the punt. And the play clock, I believe,
Dead ball
expired on this
foul.
play.
Encroachment against the defense. 5 yards. First down.
So they'll call offsides against Kahuku, and that will give Campbell the first down. The play clock did hit 00, but the offsides called against Kahuku first.
And on that one there, that was an excellent strategy by the Kahuku, by the Campbell Sabres on that one, on putting the shift on and drawing off the Kahuku defense.
5 penalties for 30 yards now called against the Kahuku Red Raiders. And Osidera's pass tipped at the line, incomplete, brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, on that one, the rush, just came in a little bit too far, as we'll see here. The rush came in just a little bit too much, for Osidera, to drop the pass over the middle, and it was tipped at the line of scrimmage. And we see Tavoy coming back in the game. Apparently he wasn't that, hurt that bad, and it's good to see the young man back in the game, Blaine.
The applause coming from the Campbell sidelines as Tavoy steps in, and he gets sacked immediately on his first play back. Bringing on the pressure for Kahuku was Major Salanoa.
Major Salanoa has thus far been, playing havoc in the backfield, as we'll see here. Salanoa, coming right up the middle, seemed like untouched, and says, "Welcome back, Mr. Tavoy."
Down to 2:46 and counting here at the Aloha Stadium. 0-0 the score. A defensive struggle so far here this evening. Tavoy quick pass to Osidera as a penalty marker goes down on the turf.
And I do have a feeling on that one there, Blaine, that that's going to be blocking below the waist going against Campbell.
The penalty is against the Campbell Sabres.
Illegal procedure against the offense. Decline. 4th down.
Well, thus far, Blaine, I'm batting 1,000 on any of the penalties thus far tonight. Haven't got one right, so I'm batting 1,000.
See Diamond Ka'aihui now back to receive this punt along with Jacob Malufal. Malufal, number 18, Ka'aihui, number 22. And Malufal signals for the fair catch and loses the ball. And he will fall on it at about the 7-yard line. The ball squirts out, but they will rule the play dead. You see Robbie Takaro with the ball, and he's wondering what's going on. So is Ethan Sorono of the Campbell Sabres.
And on that one there, as we saw Ethan Sorono, coming down.
We have an inadvertent whistle. We will replay the down.
What? I didn't quite get that one, Blaine.
Inadvertent whistle was the call being made by Jim Beavers, and they will replay the down. Interesting call here at the Aloha Stadium.
And as you see there, Darren Hernandez is, he doesn't show much emotion, but he's, rather anxious and rather livid. And
Ioane's punt, this one a rather short punt, takes a Kahuku bounce. This will be down at the 22-yard line. And that last call actually worked in Kahuku's favor. Kahuku would have been inside their own 10-yard line, but after the replay of the punt, they now have field position at their own 24. 2 minutes left up on the game clock, 0-0 the score.
And Daniel Mapu was glad to have that one called back, Blaine, because when he caught the ball, fumbled it, they pounced on him.
1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. Talamoni with some running room up the middle. And we talked about this man's versatility. He can run around the corners and he can kill you up the middle as well.
It seems like it's Talamoni left, Talamoni right up the middle, and there's just no stopping him unless, they grab a hold of his legs, because that's the power in that young man's body is his legs. Just keeps him moving.
New set of downs for the Red Raiders as Talamoni once again breaks free. He is down at about midfield.
Yeah, they're going to mark the ball down right at midfield with 1 minute and 30 seconds left. As we'll see the replay here, the handoff going to Talamoni, heading off to the right there, seeing a hole, banging it out for another 10 yards, and a first down for Kahuku Red Raiders.
Talamoni now with 4 carries for 20 yards. And penalty markers once again flying on the play.
Dead ball foul. False start against the offense. 5 yards. Repeat,
Another
first down.
penalty going against the Red Raiders. That is the 6th penalty of the first quarter against the Kahuku team.
And that was the 6th penalty, and I believe, Blaine, it's the 6th penalty for, 35 yards. And if this continues at this rate, with 1 minute and 10 seconds left, they're going to have a host of penalties, before halftime, and that may be their downfall, is they get good runs by their running backs and then fall back.
2 backs behind Thompson here on the option. And Diamond Ka'aihua getting his first carry of the night, gets nowhere except for a loss. Losing maybe about 5 yards on that last play, leading the charge for the Sabres of Fono Filiva'a.
Fono Filiva'a was blocked on the initial run around the left end right there. As we see, coming up right there, number 35 for Campbell, or I take that back, for Kahuku, Tupua came blocking, but it was just a little bit too slow for him.
Loss of 3 yards on that last play. And there you see Faleofa moving the ball across midfield, being brought down by number 95, I believe, for the Campbell Sabres.
And on that one there, that was just a straight handoff right up the middle, as we'll see on the replay here. A straight handoff right up the middle, and he just barrels down, sees him, lowers his head, gains a few more yards.
Ben Fonoti making the stop for the Sabres, and that will bring us to the conclusion of the first quarter. Neither team up on the scoreboard here at the Aloha Stadium. And just a quick statistic I'd like to throw out for the Campbell Sabres offense. Throughout the entire year so far, they have only 1 touchdown scored in the first quarter. That trend continues here tonight.
And I believe, wasn't that that 1 touchdown, if I'm not, I'm probably mistaken, but wasn't that last week against McKinley?
Their 1 touchdown in the first quarter came in the 4th game of the OIA Red Conference season, as the Kahuku Red Raiders now trying to regather their offense on the far side of the field. We'll come back to the Aloha Stadium in just a second. The score is 0-0 between Kahuku and Campbell.
Get connected to NASA. Explore space. Explore Earth. Talk to the people who work at NASA and see what you can really do with science. Kids, teachers, and everyone else who's interested can go online with NASA. It's easy on the internet at quest.arc.nasa.gov.
Welcome back to the Aloha Stadium. Blaine Cowley and Mike Bradshaw here for OIA semifinal action. A lot of the great fans here at the Aloha Stadium watching a good football game. On that last third down play, Halsia Faleofa got the ball and he moves it across the first down markers for first down yardage around the right side of the offensive line.
Timeout, Campbell.
And it looks like we have a timeout for Campbell. And just recapping what has transpired thus far. The Kahuku Red Raiders have been throwing just a host of running backs at the team right there on the screen, the Campbell Sabres, and they've been throwing Talamoni, they've been throwing Halsia Faleofa, been throwing just numerous backs. Manu Maliuna.
And you talk about the Kahuku running backs, Talamoni, 4 carries for 20 yards, and Halsia Faleofa, the other workhorse in their backfield, 5 carries for 40 yards. Both of those running backs averaging over 5 yards a carry, and that is what Siwaki Levi wanted to do in this football game. They were successful in the first quarter, just not successful in getting onto the scoreboard. Still 0-0 between the Sabres and the Red Raiders here at the Aloha Stadium.
And this Blaine is how the Campbell Sabres played last week against McKinley. It was a defensive battle, and then finally Campbell struck pay dirt first, but you see the Kahuku Red Raiders on the march.
1st and 10, misdirection play. Andreas Manu Maliuna with the ball, and he's got room to go. One man to beat, and the cornerback is able to bring him down just shy of the pylon. Making the touchdown, saving tackle was Keone Ariola. And we talk about the first quarter being Campbell's least productive offensive quarter for Kahuku. The second quarter has been their most productive during the football season.
And as you see the counter right here, handing off to Maliuna, and he just sprints out, goes out to the left, and he's off to the races. And as we see right here coming up, you'll see Keone Irola try and strip the ball, but finally brings him down.
35-yard gain on that last play as Talamoni tries to go over the pile. He will be about a yard short.
And it does look like, he jumped just a little bit too quick on that one, as we'll see right here on the replay. The handoff going right up the middle, right from the end zone. We'll see it right there. And boo, he gets his legs cut out from under him, Blaine, before he gets, able, to jump over the pile.
11:05 and counting. Kahuku knocking on Campbell's door. Kahuku into the end zone. Talamoni touchdown.
Talamoni out over the right side. It looked like, as you see the Kahuku crowd going nuts over that last touchdown.
In for the extra point attempt for Kahuku will be Napali Kuho Kahalepuna from the hold of Tim Welch Ornelas. The snap was just a little bit high, but Welch Ornelas able to get it down, and Kahalepuna converts on the extra point attempt. 7-0 now the score. Kahuku ahead of Campbell.
And as we were referring to earlier, this being the Sabres, most productive, quarter thus far this season, as you see the handoff to Talamoni out, over the right side right there, and he's supposed to go outside, but he breaks it back up and in for 6. As you see some of the more spirited crowd here, for Campbell, as well as Kahuku, and you just rock on, girl.
The Kahuku fans with a lot to cheer about here this evening as their team moves ahead 7-0 here against the Campbell Sabres. And Kahuku was able to move the ball in the first quarter, finally able to get into the end zone here in the second. 6 first downs for Kahuku to Campbell's pair.
And on that one, what set up that last touchdown was the run by Manu Maliuna. That run out to the left right there with the, for a big man, he's a 5'7", 240-pound junior. And you have a lot of power stuffed into a short, stocky body. And with those, just keep them legs churning, Blaine. He just kept on going, and it's like a bowling ball trying, someone to stop it from rolling.
Kahale Puna, number 2, is the kicker for the Kahuku Red Raiders. Noda and Asidera back to receive for the Campbell Sabres as this kick will skip out of bounds. And Campbell will have an opportunity to take the ball at the 35-yard line.
And if they do elect it, then they will take it, like you said, Blaine, on the 35-yard line.
Illegal procedure against the kicking team. Decline,
ball
put alive on the 35.
And as we see the referee, Campbell declines a re-kick, and like you said, Blaine, they're going to be taking it on the 35-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 35-yard line with 10 minutes and 53 seconds left in the second quarter.
Campbell's offense now trying to match the challenge of the Kahuku Red Raiders' offense. They will start off on their own 35-yard line. Tavui in at quarterback with Morris to his right. Keola Noda with the ball gets wrapped up immediately by the Red Raiders linebacker Joshua Ayu.
Ayu just wrapped up. He saw Noda, floating off, out to the left side here. And you see Tavoy, look immediately right there, and there's nowhere for this young man to run. And if he does get loose, he's got speed to burn, Blade.
2nd and 7, Noda the man in motion. Tavui across the middle finds his man. This is Mark Asidera. Asidera, who helped set up Campbell's first touchdown against McKinley with a 43-yard catch and scamper, gets across midfield for first down yardage.
And on that one, Blaine, as we'll see on the replay here, Tavoy just takes a 5-step drop, sees Asidera right over the middle, and Asidera makes a good run after the catch. And that's a key in tonight's game, is the run after the catch.
For Asidera, his second reception. Tavui once again being chased, finds Noda. Noda very elusive as he crosses the 40 down at the 39-yard line. And here come the Campbell Sabres.
The Campbell Sabres are making a valiant effort right here. As we'll see on the replay, Tavoy, sprinting out to his left and then seeing, Noda open, and Noda right there should have been down on the 40-yard line. However, they gave him another yard on that one.
9:22 and counting, 7-0 the score. An early jump by the Kahuku defense as the screen was set up for Adam Morris, but Morris could not hold on to the football on 2nd and 4.
And on that one, I don't see any penalty flags on the field. That was excellent timing on the right defensive end for that. As we'll see here on the replay, coming in, big number 75.
Third and 4 for the Campbell Sabres. Noda once again moving behind the line. Tavui to run for first down yardage and could not make it through the defensive line of Kahuku.
And Blaine, he'll be stopped back behind the original line of scrimmage for a loss of 2 yards on that one, making it, it'll be 4th down and 6 yards to go for a first down. As we'll see, Tavoy, looking out for any receivers open, doesn't see anybody open, goes right up the middle and is met by a host of the Kahuku Red Raiders.
Campbell special teams now out onto the field. Jack Ioane to punt it away. Campbell trying to down this in Kahuku territory. And Ioane's punt skips out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Kahuku gets the ball back with 8:21 remaining here in the second quarter. Kahuku able to draw first blood here at the Aloha Stadium, ahead 7-0 against the Campbell Sabres. And the Campbell Sabres defense, a defense that has allowed just 66 points in 8 games, allowing just 8 points a game. That is phenomenal.
And on that one there, yeah, we'll see the Kahuku team.
We'll get back to that thought in just a second. 7-0 the score. Kahuku ahead of Campbell. We'll be back. Back here at the Aloha Stadium, Blaine Kawe, Mike Bradshaw, Campbell, and Kahuku playing for the OIA semifinal game here at the Aloha Stadium. A ticket to the championship is what will be the prize for the winner of this game at the end of the fourth quarter. Kahuku advancing into this game last week after defeating Waipahu 46-26. Campbell advancing into the semifinal game by beating the McKinley Tigers 14-0.
As we see the powerful, Kahuku offense on the field and ready for another play.
Talamoni with the ball gets tripped up just across the line of scrimmage, gain of about 3 or 4 yards.
Ethan Serrano made a good stop on that play, Blaine. He broke the plane, he got into the backfield. As we'll see here on the replay, the handoff to Talamoni heading out to the right side, and you'll see Ethan Serrano come right there, right through the blockers to put a stop on him before he can get too much of a gain.
Just one receiver in the formation for Kahuku. The ball given to the upback, trying to work his way through the line was Vea Tupo. Penalty marker down on the play on the defensive side of the football. Let's see what the call is. Holding will be the call against the Red Raiders. Kahuku able to go penalty free for about the last 3 or 4 minutes, but they find their 7th penalty of the game coming here.
Holding against the offense. Half the distance as they go. Repeat, second down.
7th penalty against the Red Raiders for 45 yards in penalty yardage. Ball given to Faleofa. Faleofa with a good wall before he gets hammered by the Campbell defense.
And like we said, Blaine, earlier, the penalties are going to shoot Kahuku right in the foot. I mean, they've got a good offense, they've got a good running attack. As we'll see here, handoff to Asua Faleofa. And he gets met by a host of the Campbell Sabres there.
Kahuku in the eye on 3rd and 5. Play action. Thompson's pass just off of Manu Maliona's hands and nearly picked off by Ethan Serrano.
Ethan Serrano has been a young man that he has been a mainstay in the Campbell's backfield. As we'll see here, the pass, the fake handoff up the middle, the pass, by Thompson, a tip, and almost picked off by Ethan Serrano.
And the punt away by Chris Pahia. Kilanoda calling for the fair catch at the Campbell 45-yard line. 6 minutes, 47 seconds remaining in this first half. 7-0 the score. Kahuku ahead of Campbell.
It's a good thing that he called for a fair catch on that one, because Jason Mulafao, a 5'10", 165-pound senior, Blaine, was right there in his face, ready to nail him if he didn't.
For Kahuku quarterback Robert Thompson, just his 2nd pass of the evening. Passed just 9 times last week, completing 3 for 40 yards. Campbell now with the ball. Kilanoda gets the ball and just gets his Adams, de-Adamized coming across the middle. Making the big hit for the Kahuku Red Raiders was Loa Marasco, and he just dropped the bomb.
On that one there, Noda caught the ball coming out over the middle, and he was kind of blindsided on that one. You know, he didn't see, you know, Marasco coming, and as you see Tavoy make the, you know, throw right there, and Noda not seeing him come, gets nailed.
Tavoy play action. Has a wide open Mark Osidera and overthrows him.
And on that one there, that play action pass up the middle, Blaine, that froze the, you know, the linebackers, you know, coming, you know, from coming in, and he had Osidera, like we said, wide open in the left flat right here. And that's the same thing they did last week. You know, a play action pass, flare out to Osidera, and he was off to the races.
Tavui now 0 for 3 on his last 3 pass attempts. 3rd and 10 for the Sabres. Tavui looking long, has a man, and this is made at the sideline. Mark Osidera, email into the end zone, touchdown.
And Blaine, I don't see a penalty flag one. That was an excellent pass by Tavui, and an even more astounding catch by Mark Osidera.
Osidera is like acid because he burns 54 yards on that touchdown grab by Mark Osidera.
And I do not think, Blaine, that Kahuku was looking for that when they were looking for the fake up the middle and maybe a short pass, but that was just too strong, and an excellent throw and catch.
Ioane now awaiting the extra point conversion for the Campbell Sabres. This will tie up the ball game at 7 points apiece. And delay of game now being called against the Campbell Sabres as they could not decide which way they wanted to go. All kinds of confusion along the Campbell sideline.
Yeah, there was a lot of confusion. It looks like they were short, you know, a couple of people on that one, and with 6 minutes and 23 seconds, Blaine, they could have burned a timeout, you know, to keep from going back 5.
And penalty markers once again on the play.
And
dead ball foul, encroachment against the defense. Half the distance to go.
They're getting that.
PPT.
You know, Campbell's getting that 5 yards back that they lost, you know, to Kahuku. And that is the 8th penalty for 50 yards against Kahuku.
Kahuku's fans hoping their special teams can block that kick. Osidera with the hold for Ioane, and the conversion is no good. 7-6 is the score. Kahuku retains a 1-point lead.
And on that one there, the kick, the receiver, he just didn't get the ball in time, didn't get it down good enough, and just was not a very good looking play, Blaine. As you see here, Tavoy, you know, making the long pass to Osidera, and Osidera making, you know, being aware of where he is on the sidelines, turning, you know, 180 degrees and running all the way down.
And credit the Red Raiders defense. Excellent coverage on that play on Osidera. Osidera just coming up with a huge primetime play here at Aloha Stadium. Tremendous balance being shown by Osidera along the far sidelines, being able to stay in bounds.
And that's very true. He caught the ball, it seemed like over his shoulder, and then did a 180-degree turn, Blaine, you know, aware of where he was on the field, and boom, right up the sideline, 54 yards for the score.
.6:23 up on the game clock, quarter number 2 of action here at the Aloha Stadium for this OIA semi-final matchup. Campbell just getting on the scoreboard but failing on the extra point conversion. The score is now 7-6.
And that may be, Blaine, that missed extra point may come back to haunt the Campbell Sabres.
Jason Malufao back to receive this kickoff from Jackie Ioane along with Diamond Ka'aihui. Kahuku loses the ball, but he picks it up at the 2. And the Diamond Cutter gets de-atomized once again. Just a tremendous hitting game being played here at the Aloha Stadium. Both teams going all out.
And it's just like we said prior to the game, the adrenaline is pumping. And as we see Diamond Kahuku, catching the ball, making a run up the field, and here he comes. Big number 44. That's Tama Fanote putting a hit on him.
Talamoni with the ball. And he is brought down by a host of Campbell Sabres, leading the way, Jack Ioane along with Robbie Takara.
And on that one there, the pitch out, to Talamoni, coming around to the right side there, as we'll see here on the replay. Talamoni heading out over the right, and there he gets his legs taken out from under him. The strength,
Gain of 5 yards for Talamoni. 2nd and 5 from the Kahuku 21. Faliofa through the line, gains about 3 yards. Should bring up 3rd and about 2 yards to go for first down yardage.
And Faliofa making taking the handoff, just a straight dive play up the middle for a good gain of about 3 yards, as we'll see here on the replay. The handoff given to Faliofa, over the left side, gained 3 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 3 yards to go with 5 minutes and 10 seconds left in the second quarter. The Raiders
Kahuku, the lone remaining white conference team in the OIA playoffs. And Manu Maliuna once again getting significant yardage and more. Manu Maliuna has one man to beat. Gets a nice block upfield by Fotu. And Manu Maliuna dragged down from behind at the 15-yard line by Campbell's safety, Steven Pasion.
Steven Pasion made an excellent, play on that one. He saw the man running down the sideline and just made one heck of a try at him. He had the distance, and you have to look at it too, that Manu Maliona, as you see him heading out right there, just the strength of that man. Again, right there, he tries once, he doesn't make it, and he says, I ain't giving up on this one. He goes after him, and he makes the stop.
83 yards on that last rumble by Manu Maliuna. And Kahuku will get about 4 more yards on the ground. Talamoni carrying the ball on first down. Ethan Serono coming up from the secondary to make the tackle on Talamoni.
And I see a trend right here, Blaine. As we'll see the play right here, Talamoni just heading out right off, tackle and being stopped by the Campbell defensive backs. There's too many tackles being made by the defensive backs, Blaine.
A correction on that last carry by Manu Maliuna. 73 yards on that play as Campbell burns a timeout. But what a night for Andreas Manu Maliuna so far. Just 2 carries for 108 yards. That comes out to about 54 yards a carry. That's half a football field he covers every time he touches the football.
This is true, and it's like you said, the guy has, so much strength, in his body. And as you see right here, Hernandez is not a happy camper. He saw that run coming, and there were just too many missed tackles on that one also, Blaine.
Hernandez just incensed here along the near sideline. His defense second defending the rush in the red conference, but they are getting thrashed so far here in the first half. 7-6 to score. Kahuku ahead of Campbell. We'll be back here at the Aloha Stadium in just a moment. Back to the Aloha Stadium. Kahuku on 2nd and 5. Into the air. Touchdown, Kahuku.
And on that one, that was a wide open. That man was wide open. Joseph Fotu. A 6'2", 220-pound senior coming from the right end of the Kahuku line. Nobody it looked like from the Campbell defense was expecting that pass, and he just flared off to the right back of the end zone, and there he was. Robert Thompson nailed him.
Kahalepuna with the extra point attempt, and that is no good. 13-6 now the score. That is the second playoff touchdown for Joseph Fotu. Fotu on the receiving end of what was a picture-perfect play-action play executed by the Kahuku Red Raiders.
And as we'll see here on replay, we have the extra point right here as we see it going, wide to the left there. Don't know if we're going to be able to see the touchdown replay, but you had an excellent point on that one, Blaine. The fake up the middle, and the Campbell Sabres, they bit on that fake, and there he was right here, and there he is wide open. Joseph Fotu in the right back part of the end zone, wide open. Campbell Sabres nowhere around. 6 points. Kahuku score 13-6.
This second quarter has been quite a contrast to the first quarter we had. The first quarter, a tremendous defensive struggle with defensive linemen making sacks and linebackers making tackles on the running backs. The second quarter has been filled with big plays.
And this is true. Like you said, traditionally it's been Kahuku's, quarter to score the touchdowns. However, the defense for the Campbell Sabres has been a little bit lackluster, this quarter of the game.
And the Red Raiders, a team in the white conference that had not played any of their red conference teams yet this year, showing that they are for real here in the first half. But they will give Campbell the ball at the 35-yard line once again.
And that ball being kicked out again, Blaine, on the 15-yard line of the Campbell Sabres. And I do believe that they're going to elect to take the ball on the 35-yard line.
Illegal procedure against the kicking team. Decline the ball in play at the 35, first down.
And again, we see the referee there, making the call, illegal procedure, call against a Kahuku, declined by Campbell. Be 1st and 10, Campbell ball on the 35-yard line, 3:45 left.
Tavui looking to his left, gets past the pass rush, runs into his own man before falling forward for about 2 yards, and late penalty marker being thrown back at midfield. This penalty coming from quite a distance away from the play, and this will be a face mask called against Kahuku, and they are just racking up the penalties here tonight. And if you can knock them for doing anything wrong, that would be it.
This is true. Like I said, the penalties are going to come back to haunt Kahuku, and it's going to shoot him in the foot. And that referee was way back on the
face mask on the defense, 15 yards, first down.
That referee that threw that flag, Blaine, was back on the 35-yard line, and he needed a telescope, to see that for eyes.
And that was a 15-yard penalty. 9 penalties now for 65 yards against the Red Raiders, and we still have 3 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Tavui, long pass, looking for his man, and Asidera almost coming up with the ball. Penalty markers down on the play. Covering for Kahuku was Paulie Lua, and we may see defensive pass interference, but Tavui really took a shot just to get that ball into the air.
Yep, and that will be the 10th penalty against Kahuku for a total of
defensive pass interference, 15 yards, automatic, first down.
I'll get that total to you in a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen.
First down and 10 now for the Sabres. Kahuku hoping their defense can stand up here with Campbell on their own 34-yard line. Tavui once again going deep, this time for his tall receiver, Ezekiel Kali'i, into the end zone, touchdown!
That was a miraculous catch by Ezekiel Kali'i. That was an acrobatic catch. It looked like it was going to be picked off, overthrown, but he makes the catch Ezekiel is a 6'7", 190-pound junior, and he used that height to his advantage on that one.
For Tavui, his last 2 passes have gone for 54 yards and 34 yards, both passes for touchdowns. What a comeback for the Campbell Sabres. They will not go
celebration
down.
Against the offense. Touchdown counts, 15 yards.
And on that play, looks like we have excessive celebration against the Campbell Sabres. And this one is going to be equivalent to at least a 35-yard field goal. And they need a good snap, a good hold, and a good kick on this one.
This ball may have a chance, but it is wide and short. The ball tried to get across the goalpost, but could not. And once again, Campbell getting hurt on the extra point conversions here tonight. They now trail 13-12.
And as we'll see here on the replay, Tavoy's, taking a step back, firing the ball down the left sideline. And as we'll see here, Keli'i making the catch over the man and using that 6', 7-inch frame to stretch out over that ball and make it over the goal line, making it 13 for the Kahuku Red Raiders, 12 for the Campbell Sabres. And like you said, Blaine, the extra point is what's killing the Campbell Sabres from taking the lead in this game.
But Keli'i showing just absolute determination to get into the end zone. Once again, Ezekiel Keli'i with the 34-yard touchdown reception from Tavui. That brings Campbell to within 1 of the Kahuku Red Raiders. And their coaching staff along the far side of the field must be at least a little bit befuddled at this point, giving up 2 big passing plays to the Campbell team.
Siyuki Levi on that last play just seemed a little bit incensed that, the man didn't jump up high enough. But what he didn't realize is the man that he was guarding, Blaine, who stood 6'7".
On a booming line drive kick. Just inside the end zone is Diamond Ka'aihui. And he will work his way back to the 20-yard line. Diamond Ka'aihui with the kick return being brought down by the Sabres' Chad DeMello.
And assisting Chad DeMello on that one was number 50, Justin Lucero. As we'll see here on the replay, him taking the ball at the goal line, bringing it up the middle, and there's really no room, and it looks like he's just brought down by a host of the Campbell Sabres.
Kahuku trying to mount an offense. This is Tim Welch-Ornelas with the ball, and he is escorted rudely out of bounds by the Sabres defense after a gain of about 3.
And on that one, that was just a quick toss, to Welch-Ornelas, and for a short gain of 4 yards, making it 2nd down and 6 yards to go.
Tim Welch-Ornelas, a senior. He is the brother of Gerald Welch, a slot back / running back for the St. Louis Crusaders, who is having an outstanding year for St. Louis. Talamoni bouncing off of tacklers, loses the ball. This is picked up by the Sabres. Kerwin DeMello, and he gets dragged down at the Kahuku 37-yard line. 3rd fumble of the evening for Kahuku, and they have lost 2 of those.
And thus far, bringing him down on that last play, bringing Kerwin DeMello down on that last play was Jesse Thompson. As we'll see here on the replay, Talamoni making the run up the middle, and the ball pops out right here, and he is not down yet. And there is Kerwin DeMello picking up the ball, making the run.
Tavui on 1st down finds his man. This is complete to Adam Morris coming out of the backfield. He is down at the Kahuku 35-yard line after a gain of 2. Tavui now 8 of 13 for 127 yards passing and 2 touchdowns on the evening.
Well, that was one pass, Blaine, that Tavui threw that didn't quite make it into the end zone, but you're right. The man is on fire. If they keep this up, Kahuku better watch out.
Tavui now has completed his last 3 passes. Three receivers to the top of the screen as he looks for Keli'i. And Keli'i just gets discombobulated this time. Tavo Tuatai made sure Ezekiel Keli'i did not catch the football.
Yes, on that last play right there, that ball was, Ezekiel Keli'i knew he was going to get hit, and he just concentrated on the ball, but that was just an excellent hit by the Kahuku defense.
Outstanding timing on that hit by Tavo Tuatai, jarring the ball loose from the hands of Keli'i. 3rd and 8 from the Kahuku 35-yard line. And Tavui gets sacked from behind. Kahuku coming up big defensively once again. Making the play for Kahuku appeared to be Nifuloa Si'ilata.
Ni'ifola Si'ilata. As we'll see here, Tavui just stepping up, and there's Si'ilata, coming up and making the stop for a loss
Timeout.
of 3 yards, making it 4th down and 11 yards to go. Timeout, Kahuku.
Puna Vendiola also assisting on that last sack. Game clock stopped at 1:26, 13-12 here in the second quarter. Siwaki Levi and Kahuku about ready to get the football back.
And as well as the kicking game for Campbell has been, they may be able to pin Kahuku back deep. But as you see the coach right there, Siwaki Levi, making the calls on that one. He's just saying, come on, team, let's get it together. Let's get going.
We have not seen many of those short screen passes or short passes across the middle for the Campbell Sabres tonight. Plays that were very effective against McKinley. You're right, Blaine. They had a dive play last week, fake to the left and throw out to the right. Ioane, another nice punt. This will go out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Kahuku back rather deep into their own territory. 1 minute, 17 seconds up on the game clock. Kahuku ahead by 1. And this right here, there was 2 plays before Talamoni, fumbled the ball, and that was an excellent defensive series, for Kahuku, putting a stop on him and not being able to gain too much yardage on that one, Blade. Kahuku with just 2 first downs here in the second quarter. Thompson to pass on first down, looking deep. Has a man, and pass interference will be called here against the Campbell Sabres. Kerwin DeMello. Matthew Taylor, the man streaking downfield for the Red Raiders. And that was a good call by the officials, Blaine, because Kerwin DeMello was the second defensive back on that one, and he was right up in his face, and he didn't give the man a chance, to see the ball. And if he would look back for the ball, there wouldn't have been a penalty. We may have this go against the defense. Oh, yes, it will go against the defense. Almost went against Kahuku. As we see right
pass
here,
interference,
and
15
there he
yards,
is right
automatic,
there.
first down.
Number 11, he doesn't look back for the ball. He just goes for the man, and resulting in the penalty. Red Raiders now on their own 29-yard line. Thompson's pass through the hands of Nui Aumua on first down. Nui Aumua on that one, I think Blaine heard the footsteps of the Campbell Sabres on that one because he was wide open. He had some running yardage. He had a blocker out in front of us. We'll see right here. Thompson throwing the ball out to the right and just right through the hands. And like I said, he heard the footsteps. He had a blocker out in front of him. That ball would have gone for big yardage if it would have been caught. 2nd and 10. 3 receivers in the pattern for Kahuku, and Thompson will be dropped. Patayao once again with his 2nd sack of the game. Gabriel Patayao now matching his sack total of last week here in the first half. No huddle offense for Kahuku as you see the replay. As you see the replay right there, Patayao just goes right up the middle, stays at home, and doesn't get fooled by the blocks. Thompson is chased out of bounds at the 25-yard line on 3rd and 14.
penalty markers down on the play. This may go against Kahuku.
And Blaine, I do think it is going to be going against Kahuku as the head referee. As we had an illegal man downfield, Blaine, and as we said earlier,
We have illegal procedure against the offense, decline, and we have illegal participation against the offense, that's decline. 4th down, out of bounds.
Kahuku being a one-dimensional team, Blaine, being a run-oriented team, they're not used to, throwing in the passing game, and that may have been the result of that last penalty.
Both penalties going against Kahuku, and I think our statistician Al Murakami is running out of penalty space on the Kahuku side of his sheet. 10 penalties now against Kahuku. Keola Noda calling for the fair catch at the 40-yard line for Campbell. And the Sabres a chance to get that quick strike downfield. They have 26 seconds to do it, but no timeouts. So let's see if Campbell decides to work the sidelines or just go back into the locker room trailing by 1 point.
They may do that. They did that last week, going into halftime 7-0 against the McKinley Tigers. As you'll see here, it looks like Tavoy is going to be going way downfield.
Tavui with some time, quick pass, finds his man, and being brought down was the Campbell Sabres ball carrier. Joshua Russell making the reception. Watch this pass from Tavui once again. Russell with the ball, but he gets hit immediately by Joshua Ayu. 2 seconds up on the game clock as whistles are blown by the referee.
And Blaine, I don't know if there's a timeout, but the clock has stopped. 2 seconds left. 13-12 with Kahuku in the lead. Look for a Hail Mary pass on this one.
2 receivers split out towards the far sideline. Draw play. This is Russell once again. And he is brought down across midfield, and that will do it. Joshua Russell, a sophomore, getting some playing time here in this ballgame for the Campbell Sabres. We have reached the end of the first half. Kahuku ahead, 13-12 over Campbell. Mike, your thoughts on the first half?
Let me get to that in just a second, Blaine. That last play caught Kahuku by surprise. They thought that he was going to drop back for a pass and look for Campbell to do that again in the second half. However, this game thus far, like we said, in the first quarter, it was a defensive battle. In the second quarter, Blaine, it was more of offensive versus offensive teams.
Which one of these two great high school teams will step into the OIA championship? The answer coming up after the next 2 quarters of play. For Erickson Cristobal and my colorman Mike Bradshaw and statistician Al Morikami, my name is Blaine Coway. Thank you for joining the Stadium Stars.
And welcome back, everyone. Dominic Radura and Al Morikami joining you here in the second half of this great ball game here in the OIA semifinals. The score at halftime right now, the Kahuku Red Raiders 13 and the Campbell Sabres 12. It's been a seesaw battle here, Al.
And indeed it has, Dominic. We have, seen pretty much expected what we expected to see. Talamoni, of course, 10 carries, 37 yards, a touchdown, but also 2 fumbles. Faliofa with 7 carries for 49 yards to generate the ground game. But certainly the main ground gainer has been Manu Maliuna for Kahuku, coming up 2 carries for a total of 98 yards this evening. On the other side of things, of course, Tavui is 9 of 15 for 111 yards with 2 touchdown tosses, both of them coming in the second quarter, certainly. But, of course, the difference here, basically the extra points. Raiders able to convert 1 to lead 13-12 over the Sabres, who are 0 for 2 as far as extra points.
And there you take a look at Coach Levi trying to get everything on this stretch run of the second half. They've done well so far. Andreas Manu Maliuna. Couple of key plays he made in the first half with a 36-yard carry to score the first touchdown, which set it up Talamoni for that 1-yard TD, and then a 63-yard carry again by Manu Maliuna to set up a reception pass by Joseph Fotu.
Certainly one of the things making the difference for Kahuku is the fact that Robert Thompson has completed 50% of his passes for 32 yards. He's 2 of 4 for a touchdown pass to Fotu this evening. And certainly, Dominic, that bodes well for Kahuku being able to show a balanced attack that way.
You see some of the Campbell crazies in the stands, and we're going to get ready for the second half as Kahuku is going to boot it away to Campbell here. You take a look at Keola Noda, one of the backfield for the Sabres. You took a look at the Red Raiders kicker there. Napali Kuho Kahalepuna will give a boot, and he'll give it to Noda. Noda takes it at the 19, comes across field, fakes a reverse here, and will be stopped before the 20-yard line at about the 17, and that's where the offense is going to start for Campbell, making a stop for the Red Raiders. Number 16, Loa Marasco.
Noda and Asadera not making the mesh, and good shadow coverage that time by the Kahuku special teams.
You see Marasco, who made the play. Mark Asadera scoring his first touchdown of the playoffs here. And we'll take a look at this replay first.
You see here, this is what I was talking about. They don't make the mesh. He just kind of like just fakes it without really doing anything, and just good shadow coverage there, and to bring down Noda at the end.
On the first play of the second half, a pass, which is complete. Pass completed to Keola Noda. 7-yard pickup there. Actually, it'll be good for 8, and it'll be second and 8. Excuse me, second and 2. Here comes Campbell out of the shotgun. Tavui passes, complete, gets over the 40 to about the 41. Stop made there by Joshua Ayu.
You know, with 2 consecutive completions by Tavui so far, Dominic, I think we can expect to see that Kahuku will probably start pinning their ears back and coming after Tavui. This is just a matter of just sitting back in a pass defense and saying, I dare you to complete a ball and try and find somebody in the wave of humanity out there, as we have a man down for the Sabres. But as you saw that time, basically Campbell just going out there and finding holes in that Kahuku zone over the middle, and Tavui just zooming passes inside there. You got to figure sooner or later the Kahuku defensive coaches are going to load up for bear and just come after Tavui, because they know Campbell has no running attack to speak of.
The man shaking up on the play was Keola Noda, who made the reception. He gets off the field. Should be okay. A first down for the Sabres. Tavui has lots of time, can't find an open receiver, and he's almost brought down, and now the ball's loose.
Oh, and the problems that plagued the Red Raiders in the first half coming in to plague the Campbell Sabres here in the second half that time, is Tavui barely able to get back on that ball. But as I said, I was wondering when they were going to start sending people to start chasing Tavui and start taking away his time and not let him have the chance to look downfield and find the defense. Look at that there. You can see how they come in, and after that now we just wind up playing soccer out there.
A loss of 9, and it's 2nd and 19 for the Sabres. Tavui, screen pass goes to the outside, makes the catch. Catch made there that time by Russell.
And good job by Tavui just to find Russell in all that congestion out there. As a young man looking to spin it up and turn it up, and it's frequent flyer mileage time, Dominic.
Definitely is. 3rd and 22. Tavui looking for an open man, gets the pass up the middle, but it's incomplete. That time the intended receiver was Kyo Onoda, and making the play there for Kahuku on the defensive end was Robert Hesia.
Good job this time by the Kahuku pass defense. You can see they're just sitting back there saying, go ahead, try and complete this. And they do a good job of covering everybody out there and zoning out the middle zone and just taking it away. And Noda just not able to hang on to the tall pass from Tavui.
Ioane boots it away for the Sabres. Calling a fair catch is the Red Raiders' Thomas Thompson. And so Campbell on this opening drive of the second half can't get anywhere close over the 50 of Kahuku, and Kahuku takes over on offense and is going to try to extend that lead, that 1-point lead they have right now. 13-12 your score here in the third quarter with 9:32 left here in the third quarter.
You know, their last three possessions, and you see timeout on the field, but the last three possessions by Campbell prior to the start of the third quarter, Dominic, all started around the 35 and 40-yard lines, and two of the three Campbell able to convert into points on the scoreboard, though they still trail by one here. The simple fact is, you know, Campbell has a dangerous pass attack, as we've seen in the first half. You cannot let them have any kind of really good field position. If you're Kahuku, on the other hand, right now, though, you need to hold on to this ball and drive it downfield and certainly give it to your three main men tonight, Manu Maleuna, Faleofa, and, of course, Talamoni, and just basically try and see if you can't wear down that Campbell front line.
And as we come out of a TV timeout, we get back to the action. Be 1st and 10 at the 36. The ball give to Talamoni. Talamoni goes up the middle. Looks like about 4 yards as he crosses the 40-yard line.
Campbell doing a good job bottling up Talamoni as well as Faleofa this evening on the few times when they've been able to get started out there, as you'll see here. But still, good surge, good blocking here by the Kahuku front line, creating a lane for Talamoni on that one.
And here's a play by the Red Raiders. Handoff by the quarterback Thompson to Manu Maleuna. The ball is spotted at the scrimmage line, the previous scrimmage line. It'll be 3rd and about 6 yards.
Good job by the Campbell defense. You see there, they just race up to take away the hole this time, and Manu Maleuna has nowhere to go.
8:27 left during the third quarter, folks. Been a great ball game. Here's Thompson, fakes the handoff, gets the pass off, and it's complete, but will be short of the first down. Making the great grab there was Thomas Thompson.
More importantly, good rush by the Campbell front line, putting some good pressure on Thompson, not giving him any real time to find anybody downfield. Thompson had to go basically to his brother here, who probably was the third intended receiver on the play. And you see there, good tackle by the Campbell defensive man there, Keone Ariola, to keep Thomas Thompson from picking up the
Time
first
out.
down.
Campbell.
Thompson, of course, harking back to Funaki and Darren Johnson and, of course, Walter Santiago, some of the fine quarterbacks for the Kahuku Red Raiders over the years as we take time out here on the field.
And we'll be back after this.
Oh, really? You guys? Oh, hi. The fire one, right? The one that's
And we welcome you folks back to Aloha Stadium. A very loud crowd here at Aloha Stadium. And a punting duties by Kahuku. Goes over the head of the backfield. Now we got penalty markers on the play. And the ball we spotted at about the 20-yard line as it took an awkward bounce and went out of bounds.
They're talking to the Campbell captain, so one would assume this is a Kahuku penalty. Then again, maybe not.
We have an invalid fair catch signal. Loose ball foul from the previous spot, 5 yards, first down.
Jim Beavers doing a impersonation of former NFL referee Red Cashin with the first down, and a first down for the Red Raiders. They keep it on offense here.
Not a good situation for Campbell.
But a good pickup for Kahuku as they take it at the 48. The give now, and a gain there by the Red Raiders. Hausia Faliofa, the running back, takes the ball, and Faliofa led this team in the regular season with touchdowns, with 5, and their star in the postseason as we have an injured player. We'll take a look at this replay first.
Good job by Faliopa, tripped as he leaped out there trying to pick up major yardage.
And I was talking about postseason heroics by Talamoni scoring all of his touchdowns this season in the postseason. Hasn't scored a touchdown during the regular season.
Faliofa now 8 carries for 51 yards as you check out our box office hours here at Aloha Stadium, 9 to 5, Monday to Saturdays.
And for you folks that coming up, we got the Aloha Bowl coming up, also the Hula Bowl, and the Rolling Stones coming into town. And those are the important numbers that you need. 9 to 5 at the box office, and you can give them a call, or you can head down to the Aloha Stadium box office.
Coach Darren Hernandez, young man who's brought a lot of interesting changes to the Campbell Sabres gridiron program, certainly. As you see there, coming off the field for the Sabres is Afono Filiva'a, one of the Campbell defenders coming off the field. The young man was injured on the previous play.
And we're going to resume play here now. 7:27 left in the third quarter. 2nd and 7 at the 48 of the Sabres as Campbell on the defensive end. And now, once again, getting the ball was Faliofa, pushing his way through that defense of the Sabres. And we got an injured Red Raider on the field now. The ball spotted close to a first down. They'll bring out the chains as we take a look at this replay.
And Faliofa was limping off the field, too, after this play. Good run by the young man here. Good bit of power running here to put them in a position to try and pick up the first down.
It was like the man shaking up the play was Joseph Fotu. And that's not a good sign, Al, as Fotu has 2 touchdowns in this postseason, and he's been one of their receivers, even if Kahuku doesn't throw a lot, but he's made the big plays.
And the measurement showing that Kahuku just shy of a first down, Dominic, and of course, certainly they have that power running attack still yet inside there, though, with Manu Maliuna and Talamoni still yet to.
So I feel a hint here with you saying them a bit short and a power running back, and if you as a coach, I believe you'd go for it. Isn't that right?
Well, it's third down. Why not? Actually, no. Kahuku does need to hold on to the ball here, and they've actually been doing a very good job of running the ball and just running a very steady attack.
And they do, and they give it to Manu Maliuna, and they do get the first down, get a couple of yards on the pickup as he gets over the 40. Kahuku will keep the ball.
Good surge at the line of scrimmage here, as Manu Maliuna just follows his blocking. Still
He got stuff on the play by Robbie Takara, but with a lot of leg drive, really pushed him forward there to get the first down.
And Manu Maliuna over the century mark now on just 4 carries.
And the keeper, played by Thompson, gets good yardage. Gets to about the 33-yard line.
You know, you talk about turning a team's strength against itself. That was an example of it here by Thompson. Turning it up and taking it up on his own and taking the battering out there. Very efficient passer, like I said, very much in the mold of Walter Santiago, Darren Johnson. And certainly Funaki, the last quarterback to call signals for this team a couple of years back during their time under Doug Simonis.
He had a pretty good stretch run too, as during the Simonis era, he went to the Prep Bowl. Made a few appearances. Fakes the handoff. Thompson keeps it, has to scramble, and makes it out of bounds as he's being chased that time by Mark Muasau.
This is what I mean by being a very efficient passer. You see, he takes care of the ball. They have it set up. They have just actually one man for him to release to downfield. This was a set play to his intended receiver downfield, and good job not to force it downfield to his receiver in that situation. Rather just, you know, get what he can out of it and come back and try and get it on 3rd down.
3rd and a couple of yards to go for the Red Raiders. They give it to Manu Maliuna. Should be close to a first down. Might have gotten over the 30. And Jim Beavers signals the first down. And Kahuku playing smash mouth football, keeping the ball on the ground and getting the needed yardage.
And this is what I mean about efficiency and good decision making on the part of their quarterback, Thompson. On the previous play, not forcing the ball downfield, getting what he can, and then come back on the next down, and they pick up the first down here.
The ball given to Talamoni, and he stopped at the scrimmage line, and bringing him down is a linebacker for the Sabres that's been doing a heck of a job in Robbie Takara. And it looks like he's going to be probably a Division I prospect, as he's a senior this year.
Certainly, without a doubt, gets his head inside there, but they do a good job of blocking him out and still manage to get ahead for something.
And for you folks at home, is sized up at 6'1", 245 pounds, inside linebacker.
Good size college roverback, actually.
2nd down. The ball given to Faliofa. Faliofa loses the ball as the ball gets over the 20, and it's not a mad scramble for the ball. But unfortunately, Kahuku gets it back. Picking it up on the recovery was Vea Tupo.
Let me know when you want to spot. I'll activate.
And just good defense there to force the ball out as he puts the helmet inside there. Then after this, it just becomes a little bit of a soccer match, and everybody just trying to fall on the ball. And Kahuku, better lucky than good sometimes, they say.
With a fumble to get a first down, keeping it as running back, Faliofa got about 4 yards, and we got a late penalty marker now.
The one thing Campbell can't afford to do here, defensively speaking, is lose their poise, lose their self-control down here in this situation. At the same time, if you're Kahuku, though, you can't afford to get cocky and think that because you've been having success running the ball that, you know, you can be able to stuff people down and get away with
procedure,
things.
6-man line against the offense. 5 yards, repeat, first down.
Again, that's just a plain loss of concentration. Good run here, though, by Faliofa coming back into the ball game, and a good stop being made by the Campbell Sabres there.
Thompson keeps the ball, making a mad scramble, gets to the 15-yard line, the original line of scrimmage.
Thompson doing a good job of footwork there. Campbell defense had him dead to rights, as you'll see here on our Hawaii Army National Guard replay. Just good footwork here by Thompson, and then just the defense just closing in on him. But what Campbell has to do is they have to wrap up. They have to kind of, once they get a hand on Thompson or whoever else in the backfield, they have to drop them there. They can't let them run loose like that.
Thompson gets short of the line of scrimmage, and Thompson fires way up the middle, and it goes over a couple of defenders and the intended receiver.
Just enough to distract the intended receiver for Kahuku out there, Joseph Fotu. Watch this in our Zippy's Restaurants replay. Second look accorded by Zippy's. Come on over to the Zippy's Taste. You see there the two defensive backs in front taking up good defensive position and distracting Joseph Fotu enough that he wasn't able to hold on.
Here's a third down play. Talamoni fires in the end zone to the corner and can't make the play that time for the Red Raiders. Is Alan Foster, the intended receiver. Good defense there by the Sabres.
Kerwin DeMello doing an excellent job, as you'll see on our GTE Hawaiian Tel replay, as he goes beyond the call here. Most important thing was he was looking back on that ball. When that ball is up there, it's anybody's ball, receiver or defensive back.
Napali Kuho Kahalepuna will try for a field goal as the ball goes over and high, and now it's a mad scramble. Kahalepuna is at the 50, fires in the air. The pass is complete. We got markers on the play. Touchdown, Manu Maliuna. But we got penalty markers on the play, but what a wild play that time.
You know what? This is going to come back. This is going to come back.
Even if a touchdown that was called back, that was a heck of a play.
You don't see that too often when you have that kind of situation where a person can just hurl it down there. And I believe Kahalepuna is down. Oh, but Darren Hernandez, his heart had to be in his throat on that one. The simple fact is, though, you have to have people behind the line of scrimmage. Tavita Ingalu, apparently the man down.
We have clipping!
Okay. Oh, I see.
Get 15 yards, repeat, fourth down.
Okay, so they had a blocking below the knee situation there.
And the Campbell fans going wild. They like the call.
We have an injury
As the
timeout.
ball moved back over the 50 this time, and it's spotted at the 39 of the Red Raiders.
Yeah, so the penalty just continued to sting Kahuku tonight.
That penalty, especially that blocking below the waist, is going to be spotted at where the foul is. And boy, did that penalty drop the hammer on Kahuku.
I thought they were going to call Kahuku for like an illegal man downfield because you had players all over the place. And when you're in that situation, you have to remember certain players can go over the line of scrimmage. Everybody else has to stay behind it. So what can happen is when you peel back, when you go into those peel back and block situations, different story.
So a field goal attempt turns into a punting situation. 3 seconds on the play clock.
Dead ball foul. Delay a game against the offense. 5 yards. Repeat, 4 yards.
And it's a delay of game called on Kahuku, and surprisingly, with 6 seconds, I'm surprised they didn't call a timeout. They got 3 timeouts on the board, and they get a 5-yard penalty on this, and it'll be a 4th and 56 as a one bouncer now, and can't get a handle on the ball. Now the thing is passed. The ball is passed there, complete by Palilua, and will come a whole truckload short of a first down.
Statsman Blaine Cowie telling us total of now 13 penalties for 113 yards against Kahuku. Complete loss of concentration and poise on the part of the Red Raiders now. But still, you got to give them A for effort. Look at this as they just keep on keeping on here, trying to make something out of nothing here. But good job by the Campbell Sabres not giving up on the situation either. An excellent field position for them here, Dominic.
Excellent field position at the 35, Al. And the crowd getting into this ball game, especially the Campbell crowd, very excited to where the field position is at. Tavui, a draw, give it to Russell. Gets about 7 yards on the play as he gets over the 30-yard line to about the 27.
Oh, and where has this young man been all season long? Playing for the junior varsity team, we understand. As you see here, Russell beginning to give the Sabres a little bit of a semblance of a ground game. Now Kahuku with something to have to think about.
Ball we spotted at the 29-yard line, and now getting to the 30 is Tavui. He'll lose a yard.
You know, good job by Kahuku this evening, mixing it up. Sometimes putting a heavy rush on Tavui as they did that time. Other times sitting back in a soft zone and saying, we dare you to find somebody in the traffic.
3rd and 5 for Campbell. They're going to have to get a conversion here on 3rd down to keep the ball. Now Tavui can't find a receiver. He's brought down, and a key sack that time for the Red Raiders. Making the play was Teoloi Lolotai.
And that's a famous name in high school football lore here in the islands. Good job by Kahuku shadowing and staying with Tavui, not allowing him to break out a contain and perhaps get the first down on the run or be able to find somebody downfield to toss to.
So it'll be 4th down, a loss for the Sabres as Teoloi Lolotai makes a key sack on Rodney Tavui. This ball punted away and it enters the end zone, and the ball we spotted at the 20-yard line.
But a good job by Kahuku in a situation where all the wheels seem to be coming off the wagon. Defense rises up, makes the stop, and we got a 0-0 score. But both these teams showing, Dominic, that usually they do a good job of adjusting in the following quarter, and certainly that seems to be the situation. You look at the line score just a moment there. You had goose eggs up on the scoreboard for both the Raiders and the Sabres in the first quarter. Then we got matching points in the second.
And we've got 18 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. The score still 13-12. Kahuku with that 1-point lead. Trying to hold on here.
He wants them to calm down. They're starting to take a little extra shots at each other.
And timeout on the field, Dominic, with 18 seconds remaining and a 13-12 edge for the Red Raiders over the Sabres.
I think it could get ugly.
And a possible well-deserved timeout after he had a pretty good set of terrific plays, big plays happening in the series. Now we resume back to action as the ball 1st and 10 at the 20 of the Raiders. This give to Talamoni gets over the 25 to about the 27.
Excellent play call. They come back to their main ground gainer, and he picks up 8 yards just like that.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
Excellent blocking here. You can see how Talamoni goes at least 5 yards before anybody from Campbell manages to get a hand on him as we end the quarter, Dominic.
Yep, that'll be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Talamoni getting 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 3 as we enter the final 12 minutes of this ball game. The winner of this ball game gets the ticket to the OIA championship game next week.
And of course, at this point, Lelehua and Waianae certainly looking to, well, of course, vie for that other position.
And that will happen tomorrow night. But right now we have a terrific ball game with the final 12 minutes in this ball game. 13-12 the score. Handoff to Talamoni. He gets the first down easily. And I think in this final 12 minutes, it's probably just going to be ball control for the Red Raiders. It's going to take a lot of time off the clock.
As you check out our Hawaii Army National Guard replay, good run here by Talamoni, finding the open hole and managing to negotiate his way for the first down.
Ball given once again to Talamoni. Talamoni making a stop for the Sabres. Keone Ariola.
And our Zippy's Restaurants replay. Check this out. There's a good job by Talamoni here. You can see, comes up, uses his blocker, checks out what's downfield, what he has, and then just makes his cut, makes his move, and picks up the yardage.
Another 7-yard gainer. 2nd and 3. Talamoni has the ball and gets the first down for the Red Raiders. The needed first down was stopped at the 45.
Excellent vision by Talamoni. He gets taken down here as you check out our Hawaiian Tel GTE replay. Talamoni going beyond the call here. Good head-up play and literally doing that. You see how he keeps his head up, looks downfield, finds his lane, and has that feel, as all good running backs do, to find a little bit of a crease and picks up the first down there. Although gets injured at the end there where he gets tagged on the carpet.
Gets a little shaken up on the play. Tim Welch Ornelas enters in for the shaken up player that time, Talamoni. And a give to Dre Manu Maliuna. And making a stop for the Sabres was Robbie Takara.
As you check out our sprint replay and see how Manu Maliuna, again, another good head-up runner. You can see that's one of the good things that you try to teach young men when it comes to running the ball is keep your head up, look around, be aware of what's going on, and find your crease and as you're going along there.
2nd down, and taking the ball is Faleofa. Faleofa gets a first down, so he crossed the plane. See where they spot it.
Oh, he'll be just shy here, but a good run there by Faleofa. He hits that crease and just blows right through it. Goes for about another 3-4 yards before anybody touched him. Check out our Pepsi Generation Next replay. See, he just comes right through there, and it's not until he gets about 2-3 yards beyond the line of scrimmage that finally the Campbell Sabres come up and chop him down.
Ball given by the Red Raiders. Tonga Hikila gets the first down.
Dominic, they keep this up, and, sooner or later you get the feeling that pretty soon they're going to bust a big play. I mean, they're just wearing Campbell down here at this point. Sabres doing a good job this time, though, on this particular play, keeping it short, but still it results in a first down, although Campbell didn't have, Kahuku not having to go too far for that. But the simple fact is, you saw how they picked up extra yardage there. You can't help but feel that if Kahuku keeps this up, sooner or later they're going to bust a big run here.
And they're at the 45-yard line. A fumble there on the exchange.
And then again, maybe I ought to keep my mouth shut. It's like anything. I guess it's like one of these weird things in life. You talk about how good a free throw shooter a person is. You talk about how good a field goal kicker there is. Guess what happens? They get blocked or they miss.
Well, your opinion is accepted. We're in America. Things do happen, and it's at 2nd and 11 at the 45-yard line for the Red Raiders. Faleofa gets the ball. Get forward progress on that as crosses the 45, maybe just a yard on the play.
And coming up here, of course, Robert Thompson going to have his arm tested. Is good job here by the quickness of the Campbell Sabres, just coming up and just stuffing the run at the line of scrimmage. One of the things that Campbell has always done so well under Hernandez's reign is being able to get up there quickly, be able to take those lanes away and just stuff runs between the tackles.
And with 7:56 to play here in the fourth quarter, timeout taken by the Red Raiders. As you take a look at our scoreboard, 13-12. No one has scored yet here in the second half. And as we have a timeout on the field, we'll also take a timeout. We'll be back after this. And we're back to Aloha Stadium, as you saw a commercial by our good friends from First Line Bank. Dominic Rodero, Al Morikami, and Mike Bradshaw here in the second half. See Kahuku standing up here still on offense as they started this drive from the 20. Here you see a Robert Thompson fan.
Nearly 4,000 fans on hand this evening to view tonight's game, and so far it's been a classic defensive battle with only a couple of big plays being able to light up the scoreboard, but so far it's been pretty much the defense that's carried this ball game, Dominic.
Tell you what, just missed 4,000 fans, but a very vocal crowd tonight. You pretty much like that in a ball game. Thompson has to run for some room, now fires away, and no way was the intended receiver Tevita Nalu was going to make that play as the ball was thrown way out of bounds.
Good pressure by the Campbell defense running down Thompson here, forcing him into a situation where there was really only one player that they had to bother to cover in that situation.
Red Raiders are going to have to punt it away. And calling a fair catch was Mark Asadera as the ball was booted by Chris Pahia.
You know, both these teams trying to hurry themselves up, trying to establish a quick tempo. The ball boy barely got off the field on time on that punt play. And it was Campbell's ball boy on top of that. Or on the Campbell sidelines, I should say.
You take a look at Rodney Tavui. Was injured back in the first half. Mark Asadera had to come in the ballgame to fill in some time, but Tavui's back in the action, and the ball quickly thrown to Mark Asadera. The ball is thrown short.
Oh, if they could have bought Tavui another couple of seconds. He had a wide open receiver downfield on a crossing pattern coming over the middle, Mario Torres. Instead, he opts to go to Asadera here. But they did a good job. They cleared out, and now Russell coming in. Be interesting to see what they do with him here.
The ball stays at the 15, and it's going to be a 2nd and 10 for the Sabres. Firing away to Mark Asadera, and Asadera has a lot of room in front of him. Touchdown, Campbell, with 7:21 left in the ball game, and what a quick strike from Rodney Tavui to Mark Asadera.
85 yards of turf covered on the play. I said when we were looking here on the sidelines on that previous play, they used the slant in. They obviously saw something. They set it up because they came with that same thing with the receiver slanting across to clear it out, except hooking their slot backs in, and then Asadera takes it to the outside and then just basically busts it 85 yards for the touchdown. Excellent play call by Darren Hernandez and his offensive staff.
What a play here from Tavui to Asadera, and Campbell favoring the 2-point conversion.
Campbell
will take a timeout.
The 2-point conversion would give them a 7-point margin rather than a 5-point one. or even a 6-point one. Take another look at this again. Just an excellent job by Asadera. Good concentration, good throw, and Asadera just does the rest. Does a good job here towards the very end of the run. Look at this. Kahuku defender coming up. He sees him. Good vision, and just basically takes it back to the middle and says, bye-bye. 6 points, touchdown, Campbell.
And that ball went through 2 Kahuku defenders and Asadera on the receiving end to get it. And now Campbell has the lead. They'll have the extra point attempt here as they'll try to extend that lead. They will go for the 2-point conversion.
Tavui now 208 yards and 3 touchdown passes this evening.
Tavui keeps the ball, passes over, and it's complete. Jack Ioane completes the 2-point conversion, and Campbell has a 20-13 lead with 7:18 left in this ball game.
You talk about you gotta believe. Sometimes you have to be able to take a little leap of faith. Hang in there. Keep trying, because sooner or later something good's going to happen, and that's what Campbell has done this evening. Their defense set them up, got the ball back, and then Tavui and Asadera and company and Ioane have all done the rest.
There you see Coach Hernandez doesn't break a smile, but you know, deep inside of him, he's pretty happy to get the lead.
Well, he knows that the Red Raiders have the kind of personnel with Talamoni and company. They can still bust a big play, and they're down only 7 points here.
And early in the first half, we saw those big plays. Haven't seen one here in the second half, but they can bust one out.
And especially with Kahuku dropping back here around the 5. Had some problems getting the handle on the ball in the first half, but you can sure as heck bet in this second half, he'll find the handle, and he'll find a way to try and get them some big plays here. They need good positive yardage on this kickoff return.
Ioane drives a low line drive, and a ball taken by the backfield for Kahuku, and taking it was Thomas Thompson. Gives him good field position as he crosses the 30 to the 32-yard line, and Kahuku will try to move their offense from here.
Well, Thompson, obviously the return man of choice this time, as Kahuku has had some problems hanging on to it, but a good job by Thomas Thompson finding a nice soft crease and just taking it right up the middle. Good positive yardage.
Talamoni goes around on a sweep, breaks the first down and gets close to the 50-yard line. And that almost turned into what we were talking about. One of those big plays for Kahuku.
It's like I said, they have big play personnel, Kahuku does. And one of the things I was thinking about following the last drive was they were staying pretty much between the tackles. Kahuku hadn't gone wide on the previous drive. And I thought to myself, you know, you can just think that maybe somebody's telling Coach Levi on the Kahuku sidelines, hey, why don't we take something wide, see if we can bust something, and that's exactly what they've just done.
They'll get over the 50 to the 48. Manu Maliuna breaks loose, gets to the 40. A big gain there, a gain of about 8, and close to another Red Raider first down as Manu Maliuna makes a good run from that fullback position.
You know, one of the advantages of being able to run the ball wide is that you can always cut it back to the inside, as Manu Maliuna does here. What they've done basically, given the Talamoni run previous to this, is they've stretched the Campbell defense horizontally from sideline to sideline. Makes it easier to get through that first line. Then all you got to deal with is the outside linebacker or maybe a couple of defensive backs, and you can always run over those guys if you're the size of a Manu Maliuna.
Here a play, and Robbie Takara makes the play on Talamoni, and Talamoni goes for a loss as Robbie Takara makes a key stop.
You're right, Dominic. This young man will play Saturdays for somebody. No doubt about that. You see, they try to come wide here with Talamoni again, but good job by Takara coming in, slicing and taking away the lane. And good job by his defensive mates on that one to take away some of the inside position, to take away some of the wide stuff, make Talamoni have to really look for a lane.
3rd and 4. The ball given to Talamoni. Can't stretch to the first down as he's stopped by the Sabres. And making that stop was Steven Pachon. And also on the play was Robbie Takar once more.
You know, Kahuku here needs to open it up just a little bit as far as their air attack is concerned. Talamoni doing a good job, but again, you see how they stretch him out, and you can see how they basically are making him look for a lane, and they stretch him out, and then they just basically, one man comes in, takes him, and knocks him down.
4th down for the Red Raiders. It seems on the field we had some equipment problem with one of the Sabre players, and entering the ball game for the Sabres is Shane Aquina. And this is going to be a 4th down play where the Campbell Sabres on defense wants to stop them and get the ball back, but Kahuku here fighting away. They need 4 yards to get to the 38-yard line, and it's going to be stopped. Talamoni gets stopped on the play, and they will be denied a 1st down, and a hard luck play there with 4:44 left in the ball game.
You know, I don't want to second-guess Coach Siuvaki Levi, but you've been going triple option for most of the evening. They don't even try to disguise this one. They line up in the I formation, they get it to Talamoni, and they give it to him on a handoff on top of that and say, here, you try and get it for us. I mean, I hate to say it, but if you're Talamoni, he's been doing a good job running wide for you. Give him on a toss and give him a better situation to run from.
Tavui gives a handoff to Russell as 4:36 left in the ball game. Trying to eat away on the clock. The Red Raiders have 2 timeouts to the Sabres 1.
Campbell has to be a little careful not to get too conservative in this situation with 4:21 remaining in the ball game, Dominic. What they have to do is basically just execute their offense, but they have to be able to stay away from making little mistakes that's going to result in
Tavoy passes and over the head of Mark Asadero. That ball almost would have been picked off as a couple of Red Raider defenders was in that area.
But I'll tell you what, if Tavui had completed this, and you watch here, throws it just a little too long, leads too much to Asadero, but Asadero, had he caught it, he could have reversed his field, and he had himself a lane coming down here to the near side. Could have had himself another 10, 15 yards out of it.
Jason Malufal would have made that play for Kahuku. Here's a pass, and it's complete. Making the reception was MG Namakot.
You know, this is where not having a running attack really hurts you when you need to work time off the clock. Now Kahuku's going to get this back, and we've had only a little bit more than a minute now fall off the clock as Campbell needs just to get themselves, needed to get themselves a situation where they needed to take a little more time off the clock.
And they didn't do that job as Tommy Thompson is in the backfield. Pretty good punt, fair catch called by Thompson, and the ball we spotted at the 25, and Kahuku with 3:30 left. That's a lot of time, especially when you have 2 timeouts in your hands.
What can be difficult, though, if you're Kahuku, is most of the season you've been used to running, getting the lead about midway through the second half, and being able to milk time off the clock and just basically win the games that way. Now they're going to have to come from behind. In the case of when they played Waipahu, they came from behind certainly, but they did so in the second and third quarters, and by the time the fourth quarter rolled around, they had the game in hand. Different situation here. 3.5 minutes left. They trail by 7, and basically they're going to probably have to come out of their attack a little bit. If you're Campbell and you're the defensive coordinator, you know this. You're telling your defensive guys, hey, remember what they're going to have to do here. They're probably going to have to throw a little more often, pin them back, come after Thompson, and let's just basically try and see if we can't take this home and advance to the finals.
And don't get Kahuku wrong. They have, on paper, they haven't passed a lot, like a lot of teams, but they made passes where they need to and really completed those plays, and really was a positive note for them on their offensive end.
And Thompson makes good decisions, has good vision. And of course, you got to remember, Tim Welch-Ornelas is their big play receiver.
And with 3:30 left here in the fourth quarter, folks, this is where the ball game starts. 20-13 score as a ball taken by the Red Raiders. A big first down by Talamoni.
Great call here. Campbell defense set up to try and prevent the long pass or anything that they can try and think of that's going to be a big play for them as far as the air game is concerned. What does Kahuku do? They basically say, hey, we've been running the ball all season. We're going to stick with that until they try and stop us. Big play here by Talamoni on the carry.
Tumu Asu'ao made a key block on that play for the Red Raiders to get a whole chunk of yards for Talamoni, and Talamoni gets the ball once more. Has to come back to the scrimmage line, but he gets 2 yards on the play.
Talamoni over the century mark, 103 yards on 20 carries tonight.
Especially for a guy coming in tonight's ball game in the playoffs, been averaging 163 yards on the ground. Second down here. Thompson keeps the ball, can't find a receiver, is going to run it, and is going to be close to the first down. It looks like he's going to get that first down, and he crosses the 40 to the 39.
Well, time and distance more than down and distance, the situation that Kahuku has to look at right here. And basically, if you're Campbell, what you don't want Kahuku doing basically is getting huge chunks of yardage, on any one given play, being able to hit pay dirt that quickly.
And with Thompson heads up play there, gets the first down and gets to the sidelines. It stops the clock at 2:26, and they still got those 2 timeouts that could help them.
That's what I mean by the fact that this young man is a very efficient quarterback.
Keeper by Thompson gets 4 yards on the play.
And if you're Campbell, you don't mind seeing that because 1, the clock's going to run. 2, they only got 3 yards out of it.
The ball spotted at the 34, and it's going to be a 3-yard gain.
With just about under 2 minutes to go here.
Time ticking away for the Red Raiders, but they're inside Sabre territory. Here's a give, and the ball is loose, but coming up with it is Thompson. And this probably is a good time to take a timeout here, as the time is going to keep running.
Raiders have 2 on the board. This is where they need to use one of them. I was just
Time
saying
out.
just how efficient a
Kahuku.
quarterback that Thompson is, and this time leaves it on the carpet. And luckily, big number 72 for the Kahuku Red Raider kicks it back to him without realizing it. James Tupola, you saw the ball coming off his heel there. Basically, that saved the play for them, meaning Kahuku, of course. But the important thing is they cannot panic. They have, of course, 1 timeout remaining. There's 1:34 remaining and 36 yards to go on the clock. And you know that with the kind of personnel they have, that Kahuku is capable of the big play. Campbell, on the other hand, knows, hey, the important thing here is distance and time. So the one thing they have to do, of course, is put some pressure on Thompson, make sure Talamoni doesn't break loose, basically, and basically keep Kahuku to a minor gain here.
And we're going to get back to the action. The ball is spotted at the 36-yard line. 3rd and 7. Here's Thompson, will draw back and roll out. The pass goes over the head and out of the hands. That's being tipped like the volleyball. Joseph Fotu, the intended receiver, couldn't come up with it. And that time, luckily, he didn't catch it because Campbell would have been in big trouble that time.
Thompson has gone 0 for 4 on his last 4 pass attempts here. But you can't fault Joseph Fotu. Look how close he comes to being able to haul this one in. Good concentration by the young man to stay with it all the way.
And down at the Kahuku sideline on 4th down here, it looks like Robert Thompson on the play was shaken up.
This is not a good place to have your quarterback shook up and having to look around and then having to come in with your backup, who hasn't seen any action at all in this game.
Especially if he's been the leader all the way through from the regular season throughout the playoffs.
And perhaps the better thrower of your 2 quarterbacks too.
And they're depth chart for quarterbacks. They have
Timeout,
also Vai
Kahuku.
Funaki
That is their
and Wayne
last.
Fonoe Moana. If they need to relieve Thompson, but we have a timeout taken by the Raiders as they need extra time to round up the troops on offense.
As you saw there in that previous shot, that was Dr. Mark Schlachter. They referred to him as the country doctor. He's one of the few physicians on any of the OIA clubs as far as football is concerned. Very interesting fellow, very personable physician to talk to. Can tell you all kinds of interesting stories of what it's like to practice medicine out in the North Shore up there in Laie, where some people, because of course of the poor economic situation that we currently find ourselves in, has sometimes found people actually paying him off in pineapples and fish, believe it or not. But good to know that they have a trained professional, trained medical professional on the sidelines to look after the young men for Kahuku.
Thompson stays in the ball game, and here's Thompson. He stays on his feet as he's being pressured, and he'll get the first down. The big play of the night. That's going to do it for Kahuku here as he goes out of bounds, and he gets the first down for what the Red Raiders really, really needed.
The bottom line, though, is that they still haven't gotten to the end zone. If you're Campbell, you don't mind giving up a few yards. Rather bad tackle there by the Campbell defender. As good job here by Thompson. Keeps his head up. Excellent job. Gets out of bounds. Knows he has to do something to stop the clock because they have no timeouts to use. Good, smart play by the young man.
Jack Ioane missed getting the sack on Thompson, and the ball now spotted at the 28-yard line. A minute 13 left. Kahuku has no timeouts left in the ball game. The ball taken by Talamoni, and the ball is down at midfield, about the 25, and Kahuku is going to have to really get on their horses and try to get a playoff because they don't have a timeout unless they stop the play going out of bounds.
Like I said, time and distance is the opponent right now. As you see there, they keep Talamoni pretty much hemmed in. You don't mind giving up 5-6 yards just so long as the guy doesn't make it to the end zone in one play.
Ball
And
taking.
good job by Thompson to spike the ball and stop the clock.
Stopping the play on the clock with 51 seconds left in the ball game.
You know, you might wonder why does he do this, but you have to figure the distance is more important than the down, and the time that is what you're fighting here. So really, this is 2 down. This is a 2-down situation. They don't get it here. They'll go after it on 4th down.
And we got penalty markers on the play.
Dead ball foul. Delay of game against the offense.
Very
5 yards,
crucial
you go
penalty. You hate to see that, especially when you're in the moments where you only have 51 seconds left and you get a penalty. And now it's going to be 3rd and 11.
14th penalty, 118 yards in penalty yardage stacked up by Kahuku tonight.
Talamoni is in motion. We got penalty markers now on the play. And a ball thrown out of bounds. And it's like we're going to have another penalty as probably a intentional grounding by Thompson.
Kahuku just losing their poise here. Wheels are coming off the wagon again.
An illegal shift and a grounding play. A grounding is really important there as it's going to be a loss of down.
So they don't get the down over, and now they have 1 down, and they get backed up. And this is where playoff experience
We have
perhaps
illegal
making the
shift
difference.
against the
Campbell
offensive
being in the
decline.
OIA playoffs the
We
last.
have intentional grounding, loss of down, 5 yards, loss of down against the offense. 4th down.
Campbell having been part of the OIA playoffs for the last 3-4 years. Kahuku, this is their first time back in the playoffs after 2 seasons.
The ball is now at the 44-yard line. Crowd on their feet on the Campbell end. Here's Thompson, fires deep, try to get an open receiver, and in and out of the hands. Unbelievable, and the Campbell fans are going crazy as the ball goes in and out of the hands of Thomas Thompson, who would have made a remarkable play for the Kahuku Red Raiders.
You know, you talk about repetition and practice and so forth. You know, this is the difference perhaps, is that you've been used to running the ball if you're Kahuku all season long. Suddenly you find yourself in a situation where you need to complete passes like this, and, you know, it's just something that you don't do naturally, whereas if you're Campbell, you're used to doing that, and certainly it's paid off for them this evening in what appears to be a 20-13 win for the Sabres.
And there you see Rodney Tavui will down the ball for the Campbell Sabres, and it looks like they're just going to eat away on the clock, and Campbell will advance to the OIA championship game. They'll meet tomorrow's winner between Waianae and Lelihua, and that's going to be another great semifinal matchup.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. Of course, the play clock and the clock up there is going to allow them to just allow Campbell to just sit there and run off the remaining time, and the Sabres advance to the OIA Finals. And Darren Hernandez gets dunked. Oh, my. I wonder if he's going to have to lose the beard now. You remember he lost the hair a couple of seasons ago when they beat Waianae and Farrington and advanced to the playoffs and to the title game against Waianae.
We'll probably have to suggest that later in the week. Going up, working our way through the OIA Championship week. And a big victory for the Campbell Sabres as they make it to the big game, the OIA Championship game.
For Campbell this evening, Mark Asadera, 4 catches, 164 yards. And there you see Coach Hernandez getting dunked by one of his players there. Again, Mark Asadera for Campbell, 4 catches, 2 touchdowns, 164 yards in all. For Tavui this evening, 14 of 23 for 211 yards and 3 touchdown tosses. Of course, the last one, the game winner. And then Keli'i comes up big tonight, too, as well. 1 catch, 34 yards, but that was for a touchdown.
So that will do it for us, for our director, Mike Bradshaw, our statistician, Blaine, the Mr. Numbers, Kali, and my partner, Al Morikami. I'm Dominic Redura. Your final score, 20-13, Campbell a victor. We'll see you guys, everybody.
Good evening, everybody.